Today's lesson is about continents. So today's lesson is about continents. We are going to be looking at where the continents are and some of the features of those continents, including countries and landmarks. So these are some of the key words that you may need to learn for this lesson. We'll be looking at world maps, continents, countries, population, which is how many people there are, the types of people, it's the people that live somewhere, the ocean, land and a globe. And then we have the names of all of the continents. We've looked at these already this week, so you should be familiar. So have a look at this world map. This shows you where all of the continents are. It also shows you the red line in the middle. I wonder if you can remember what that's called. It's called the equator. And above the equator is the northern hemisphere and below it is the southern hemisphere, just to remind you of some of those facts that we've already looked at this week. So the continents that we're going to focus on first of all is Europe. And can you remember the countries, first of all, which are part of the UK? So you can see an arrow pointing to the UK there. That's where we are. Which countries are they? You can pause the video now and have a think if you need to. So the UK is a part of Europe. And Europe is one of the smaller continents. It's the second smallest. And there are about 50 countries in Europe, including England or the UK, France, Croatia, part of Russia. There are 739 million people living in Europe, which is the third largest by population. So we've got far more than other people, especially when you consider how small Europe is compared to them. Most countries in Europe use the euro, and I'm sure most of you are familiar with having used those before. So in Europe, we often divide it up into Northern Europe, like the Scandinavian countries, Eastern Europe, Southern Europe, where it's a lot hotter than where we live, and we are in Western Europe over there. We're in the green section. Can you spot where we live? Now, there are famous landmarks in Europe. There are so many in Europe. These are just a few examples. Stonehenge, the Matterhorn, the Eiffel Tower and Mount Olympus. Now you can pause now if you want to think about where those landmarks might be. Have you heard of them before? Have you been to any of them? Be very lucky if you have. I've only been to one of them. I wonder if you know which one it is. Now we're going to move to Asia. And Asia is the largest continent on Earth, and it has 48 countries. Half of the world's population live here. That's over 4 billion people. And the places where the most people live are China and India. Now, these are some of the most famous landmarks in Asia. I wonder if you know where they are located. Have you heard of them before? We're going to move now to Australasia. Sometimes it's just called Australia, but Australasia is where we're moving to next. It's the smallest of the continents and it has 14 countries. And the most populated city in this continent is Sydney, which is in Australia. And the population is about 23 million people, although Australia has more sheep than humans. Wow. And the climate in Australasia is very diverse. So it can be high of 50 degrees Celsius. That's boiling hot, far hotter than we get here. And lows of minus 25 degrees. That is absolutely freezing. So they have a huge range of temperatures there. These are some of the very famous landmarks that you might find in Australasia. I wonder if you've ever seen pictures of the Sydney Opera House or the Great Barrier Reef. Now we're going to jet all the way over to Africa. It's a huge continent. It's the second largest in the world, and it's home to the largest desert, the Sahara Desert, and one of the world's longest rivers, the River Nile. The population of Africa is just over 1 billion people. And as I'm sure you're aware, it's quite a hot place to be. The equator passes right the way through the middle of Africa, so it gets lots of sunlight all throughout the year. It's a very hot place to be. Oh, we've talked about the Sahara Desert and the River Nile, haven't we? And look at those pyramids. Those are in Egypt, which is in the north of Africa. I've given you a clue there about where they're located, haven't I? But you may also know that there are other places. There's Victoria Falls, the Kruger National Park, and Mount Kilimanjaro. Doesn't it look so beautiful there? Wow. Right, we're going to hop on over to North America now. And North America is twice the size of Europe. It is huge. There are 529 million people there, and North America has 9 time zones. So if you're on one side of the country, the time will be very different if your friend is on the other side of the country, or even the continent. And North America is home to some of the world's most important technology that we use all of the time. And the largest countries in that continent are the USA, Mexico, and Canada. I'd quite like to go to Canada. Quite fancy that. I've been to the US a couple of times, but Canada I've never been. I'd like to. Okay, we have got the Empire State Building, Mount McKinley, Mississippi, and Lake Superior. I've been to one of those. I wonder if you can guess which one. Now we are going to go to South America. And this is a really exciting continent, I think. Brazil is the largest country. It's a huge country. They hosted the Football World Cup in 2014. They're a very good football team. Well, they always were when I was younger, anyway. The South American population is 388 million people. Football is the most popular sport. And South America has a really famous and one of the longest rivers in the world, the Amazon. It's also home to the most fantastic rainforest. There's other large countries in South America. We've got Colombia, Argentina, Chile, and Peru. Wow, look at those photos. It's the Amazon rainforest, Christ the Redeemer, Machu Picchu, and Sugarloaf Mountain. I think I need to research some of those. They look so interesting. And we are going to head now to Antarctica. You might want to put your coat on for this one. It's the highest, driest, windiest, emptiest, coldest place on Earth. Woo! It's known as the frozen continent, and it has no cities or villages. The only people that live there are scientists who research what it's like. And the size of Antarctica keeps changing. It's bigger in winter than summer because of the sea ice that forms. Look at those fantastic photos. It does look a bit too chilly for me though. Here we've got some of the major oceans. I wonder, if I give you a clue, you can pause and see if you can fill in the blanks there to see which ones are which. Now, I'd like you to research your continents. Try and find a couple of facts for each one. You can use the internet or books or an atlas or a globe, and you can record your facts in the booklet which you can download, or you can present your work as a poster or a presentation. The choice is yours. Have fun researching your continents today, Prep 2. This is what it will look like if you download the booklet, and I look forward to seeing what you come up with.